Hey everybody, and welcome back to our life. I did a little thing since the last time I recorded this. I bought all the DLC. Anyways, so we're gonna be going into the teenage era with a lot more options. Anyways, so we have just transitioned from childhood era to teenagerdom. I think we're 13 or 14, and we have decided that we have a little bit of a crush on Cove, so we'll see how that goes. Also, our big sister Lizzie is now going by the far more mature and adult Elizabeth. And we're also calling one of our moms, instead of mommy, we're calling her mom, or ma. I think it's ma. I don't remember, but we're not calling her mommy anymore, which was a lot better. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and dive into this. I think we were just dragged out of bed, and we were told the Cove's downstairs, so let's dive into this. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands, which she was perusing through. Morning, Mom. She looked up at your greeting, and a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Good morning, Franklin. Thank you for coming down. Ma's at the door with Cove. I was right, it was Ma. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? You nodded and made your way to the front of the house. Just as she said, Ma was there making conversation. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh.
And now she is behind my face. I am the mother. Look who finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than average, so you were little in her eyes, despite being a typical size for your own age. You let her do it. You happily let her do it. You tilted your body aside to dodge. Huh. Neo from the Matrix style. You pushed her hand back and laughed. You pushed her hand back and groaned. I'm not gonna let her do it, but I'm gonna be nice about it. I'm gonna be like, stop teasing me. There we go. Ma could be so ridiculous, you thought, but that was okay. You're the last one down today, you know that? Life isn't a race. Morning. I was going to stay in longer, so you're welcome. Sorry about the wait. What did we get? What did we get? I don't know. I like life isn't a race. Funny. I don't think that that excuse will work if you're late for anyone other than your mother, though. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Cove was just as you remembered, exactly how you came to know him to be. He is adorable. I don't know if I cut myself off. He leaned uncomfortably to the side in your doorway as his bushy hair covered part of his face. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be the much talked about gift. At first glance, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers. Then you gave it a real look. No, instead it was carefully cut fruit. He gave me an edible arrangement. Oh my gosh. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. I mean, I get getting a fruit basket. I get getting a bouquet. Why combine the two? Like, why make them look like flowers if you're supposed to eat them? Anyways, that kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. At the sight of you, Cove smiled, but there was some nervousness to it. Hey. You smiled back. You couldn't help thinking to when you first met Cove, and how you became such good friends. Lately, though, you were starting to have different feelings for him. Hey, it's nice to see you. Yeah, you too. His grip on the base of the gift tightened, and your heartbeat sped up. Oh, puppy love. Oh, it's so cute. Ah! Even if neither of you had spoken about it, both of you were aware something new was growing in your relationship. It was already shaping up to be another long summer. The best part was that the two of you had plenty of time to spend together and explore what was developing. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. Your hands brushed over his just slightly when you took hold of the base. He flinched enough for you to know that, with certainty, that he noticed it happen. You worried you might have reacted in a similar way without realizing. And with that, the gift was accepted. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so anyway. He smiled earnestly. Oh, they were so bumbling and awkward. Yay, I love this. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. Do I? I can't decide. Okay, there are two of the thank you options, and there is one flirty option. Evens, we say thank you. Odds, may the odds be in our favor. You are too cute sometimes. I'm not trying to be. Just thank my dad for all this, okay? Fine. Mr. Holden's behavior really was different from any neighbor you'd ever had. Though after 5 years you were used to his antics, and you'd since made up your mind on what your opinion was. He was nice, he was sort of funny, he was pretty weird, you didn't like him, he was great. He was great and kinda handsome to boot. I think he's weird. He doesn't know. I don't think I think negatively of him. I'm not like, oh god, this guy sucks. He thinks he can buy people's like affection. I think I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he doesn't know how to act. So he just spends money and hopes. So I think he's just weird. You couldn't imagine having to live with him all the time like Cove did. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are! You shared a confused look with Cove as one, both of you stepped through the open door onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek. Yes, I forgot about Derek. Derek's a new character in this branch. Also, I got a DLC that expands some of Derek's story, so... you spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. You were happy at the sight of him. You were confused at the sight of him. I don't think I'm displeased. This guy is supposed to be our friend. I am a little confused, though. I'm like, what you doing here, bro? You hadn't expected to see Derek today. And this is a big thing about how I am. If you're gonna come over, I'd not any of you strangers, hi. But if someone I know is gonna come over and have, spend time over at my place, that's fine. Just tell me first. Don't drop in, though you never really knew when he'd appear. He's tiny. He's adorable. I forgot he was a really short character according to the description. After stopping a couple steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin. Hey, my guys. I was just at your house, Cove, and no one was there. Ooh. Should have figured you'd be at Franklin's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just there? Ah, the blushing. The blushing is adorable. Derek laughed at his own joke. He either didn't notice that it embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he was actually laughing at. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? You followed his gaze, unsure. Then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. This, it's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made of fruit. Nice. Can I have some? I haven't even tried it yet. It's a gift for my family. I can't give it to you. Do I really think anyone in my family is gonna care that I gave a rose apple to this kid? I'm gonna say sure, we can share. Derek grew more excited by your words, bouncing on the balls of his feet. Awesome! Then he nodded his head as if to clear it. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nuh-uh. The new kid was all by himself, just walking. Did you talk to him? Nope. I came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. So we got a kid with green hair and a kid with like seafoam green? Here's the thing. Green hair, glasses, pretty small. All these things really sound like Cove. You blinked. Slowly, you looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove! There we go. When you first got here, anyway. It kind of does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. Ah! Derek snickered good-naturedly. Don't mind me. I must contain my childlike excitement. Oh my god. I can see that really well, now that you say so. But, what did you say? Let's go find Cove's lookalike. But what do you say? That's what it's saying. But what do you say? Let's go find Cove's lookalike. We should all meet him. I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. Derek grinned. Then he pointed down the street the way he came. Last I saw him, the mystery visitor was going this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off, with Derek leading the way. I'm kind of wondering, because we know that Cove and his dad His dad separated from his mom, and they don't live with her. What? I mean, the kid would have to be very young. Because at this point, it's only 5 years since Cove came to Sunset Bird. So unless this kid is 5 years old, my theory might be wrong. But I was thinking, what if it was like Cove's like half sibling? That his mom's the one with green hair. Genetic green hair. Granted, I did comment when we made our character that our eye color options were also like purple and red. So it's possible. Anyways. Derek brought you to the beach, and as a trio, you made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun. He scuffled around, kicking up the sand as he paced. It was true, he certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad, like you had originally pictured. No, with his erratic movements and scrunched up expression, he came off angry. You became uncomfortable at the idea of talking to this stranger now. You didn't want to bother him if he was in such a bad mood. Derek didn't feel the same. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy. "Hey guy, over here!" Oh boy, look at this kid. The kid whipped around, and an impressive scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong, hostile energy still radiated from him. What? What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. What's your name? Jeremy. What, was that it? Damn. No, I'm Derek. That's Franklin and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, so, it's cool to see someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it. What?
My parents.
My parents. They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own? Right. Damn. Right. My dad brings me to Sunset Bird too. When he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't come here for a real vacation, probably either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time, a chore. My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come see them. Ugh. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too? I guess. That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No. Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves, since they cared so much and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be by myself. Poof. It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid. You kept quiet. Shouldn't talk about your parents like that. Sorry, it must suck being forced to do something you don't want. We just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining at us. Oh my god. Yes. Calm down. You don't have to yell so much. Who peed in your cereal this morning? God. I feel like Ooh. I feel like me as a teenager would have just awkwardly kept quiet, heard this person complain about everything, and then bounced as quickly as possible. You had no idea what to say to this, so you stayed silent. Jeremy didn't even notice, too focused on ranting. Exactly. They are just talking to talk. How do they always make summer vacation worse every year? You turn to Cove, lowering your voice. The two of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed. Of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. What? Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger. Maybe both. Come on. What? No. Cove's wavy eyebrows are so cool. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut? Oh my god. Don't listen to them. They're really unique and special. Well, they are kind of silly. Apologize to Cove right now. You can't treat people like that. I mean, we don't know this kid. I'm not going to lecture this kid. But I'm also going to stand up for my boy. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut? Yep, it's embarrassing and awful. But my parents made me. I won't have it when I'm older. I don't know what he's going to do with those things. Except maybe shave them off. He probably should. I bet he'd look less dumb with no eyebrows. You grinned at all this? No. You lunged towards Jeremy. Am I about to fight this kid? You just rolled your eyes. You crossed your arms over your chest. You shook your head. You patted Cove on the shoulder. I'm gonna shake my fucking head. It was pretty clear no words would penetrate Jeremy's armor of rage, but you still couldn't hold back your displeasure for his behavior. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's words in a nasally voice. Yeah, wow, what is wrong with you? This is dumb. Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go, hunched over, until he became a speck in your vision. Silence reigned in his wake. The three of you tried to process what just happened. I can't believe it. What a mean kid. Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy Jeremy was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. Derek sighed in dismay. Plopping on the ground, you followed, and Cove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do. This sucks. I was hoping we could meet someone fun. Hang out, maybe. He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But you know what would really improve the day? What? He didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point, right at the fruit arrangement that you were still holding. You'd completely forgotten about it during the mini drama that unfolded. I carried this from my home all the way to the beach. Oh my god, you completely forgot about it during the mini drama that unfolded. You had gotten used to the wait. Glancing over to Cove, you noticed he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. Why not? Let's eat. Derek perked up immediately at your words. He reached out for a skewer, hesitating slightly once he was inches away. Are you sure? You nodded with an eager grin. He plucked out a prime row of fruits. Cove grabbed one for himself after him. Only you were without a skewer of your own. Okay, let's see. We going with the melons, the strawberry, the grape, the pineapple. If it was me, in real life, gotta go with the melons. I'm whenever there's a fruit arrangement, like you know, those classic things that people who really did not prepare for the potluck, so they go to the store, they grab a thing of fruit and they bring that. In those, always go for the honeydew, the cantaloupe, melons for days. And that's also really just, oh my god, I'm just trying to be funny. But my microphone doesn't like it. I was saying that's how I like my women. Anyways. The melon was cut to look like a star. It was the obvious first choice. Derek ate a pineapple skewer enthusiastically, finishing it within moments. This is amazing. It's not any different than any other normal fruit. It's kind of worse. These have been out in the open with their skins off for a while. Sheesh. Hey, you two remember the Land Before Time? That fruit thing makes me think of it. The dinosaurs all liked leaves that were shaped like stars. Tree stars. Yeah, chomping leaves looked so delicious when they did it. And there was that scene with the pretty trees and all the dinosaurs came in and picked everything off them until there was nothing. That's us right now. Awesome. I have seen The Land Before Time. It's been forever. Don't be a dick. Wait, okay. Whenever someone comes right here to my channel and then comments that I'm playing children's games, why would that matter? Why should that matter? I'm a grown adult. I can play kids' games if I want. If that's what's entertaining, I work too damn hard at my job to give a damn that I am playing a children's game. If it's what I enjoy, I'm gonna do it. And you're gonna have to be along for the ride or you can leave. It's just how it is. Anyways, I feel the same way about kids' movies, anything that's children's media. If I am enjoying it, I enjoy so little these days. Anyways, eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? Do you think things taste better when they're shaped like stars? Interesting. As much as I did enjoy that movie as a kid, I'm not like, oh my god, yes, that movie, my childhood. It's more like, yeah, I watched that. Eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? He snickered. No, I'm not going to do it for real, but I did pretend I was a long neck when I ate broccoli one time. Yes! That spoke to me. The broccoli is just tiny little trees. You just anyways, the two of you continued like this for the next few minutes. Eventually the display was barren. It looked weird when devoid of fruit. Hey, we weren't supposed to eat all of it. It did help make you feel better. Eating it all hadn't really made you feel better. I feel like I would be like, crap. I zoned out and I ate all the fruit. Oops. Really? You couldn't stop yourself from sighing at the boys. You just wanted to eat some and have a nice time. Now you were probably going to get in trouble. You could only accept it, though. Hey, Franklin. Yeah? The two of you met eyes casually. That was pretty cool, what you said back at that guy. Oh, Thanks. I was just saying what I thought. Derek chimed in while in high spirits. You totally owned him! I don't know what his parents say, but it's good at least somebody is around to tell him what's what. Yeah. Derek then leaned back on his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh. So, are you both ready for summer break? How's someone supposed to be ready for a break? Are you? I mean, okay, here's the thing. Whenever things come up, I'm never ready for them. But at the same point, yeah. At the same point, if it's a break and I've been at school or been working for a while and I'm like, oh my God, I get to be off and not working. Oh, that would be so nice. Oh, an actual vacation. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a moment. I'm gonna say I'm not sure. I get it. It feels like there's a lot to plan for, doesn't it? You don't plan for a vacation. Never. No. The point of vacation is to stay home and completely veg. Just start growing moss, like a stone that has laid out in the forest for too long. You stay and you rest. And what about you, Cove? Are you ready? Yes. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered. Hey, Franklin! Oh, great. You glanced over your shoulder to see your sister. She strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased. I've been looking all over for you. Ma said you and Cove ran off with the thing Mr. Holden bought for us. She leered over you with arms folded. So, where is it? It's gone. It vanished. The crabs took it! What do you mean, gone? You moved over to the side to face her completely. She zeroed in on the bouquet in your hands, which was now populated exclusively with skewers dripping in juice and tiny flecks of leftover fruit pieces. Her mouth dropped open, and the tone of her voice rose. Seriously, Franklin? What were you thinking? It was supposed to be for all of us at home. She glanced at Cove, who sat beside you, and continued mockingly. Even if you are the most important person in the household to the delivery boy, this was up to his dad. It seemed everybody was in a mood to tease you and Cove today. Within moments, Cove's cheeks flushed red. He picked at the hem of his shirt, suddenly finding it very interesting. He always became nervous when Elizabeth would strike at your relationship. Okay. We were hungry. It wasn't us! A seagull came down and ate it all while we weren't looking. I don't want to make excuses. I'm just gonna apologize. Elizabeth narrowed her eyes, not at all placated. Oh no. I think I hear the mean kid coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked, confused, and looked around. What kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too, gladly taking the opportunity. Stop listening to me, Siri. Anyways, he followed after Derek, but he sent, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. He followed after Derek, but he sent a look to you from over his shoulder. You turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brow raised. Do I follow my friends and the boy I got a crush on? Or do I stay with my sister who's angry at me and the kid who's being really mean to us? I'm running. Without a word, you two got to your feet and bolted down the beach. Unimpressed, Elizabeth rolled her eyes. They're 13. Yes, they are. They're 13 and all boys. Boys routinely mature slower than girls. It's just a fact of life. What in the world? There we go. Okay. She shook her head as she looked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumped his fist, grinning in triumph. We escaped and shall live to see another day. Exactly, but we should keep moving. Yeah, for now at least. My moms are going to be so mad when Elizabeth tells this story. I'm going to say, yeah, for now at least. I still have to face Elizabeth when I go back home. You chuckled together, walking further down the beach side by side. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. You had gotten a bit of scolding from your moms for not saving any of Mr. Holden's gift for Elizabeth, but you didn't get any real punishment for it. I was about to say, it's an inedible arrangement. Who really gives a shit? Instead, while you were out with the boys, Elizabeth returned home to share the news. The three of them went to get dessert on their own. It was declared, even by your parents, when everyone got back and the event was settled. After that, Derek had rejoined you in the living room. He'd elected to stay outside for extra time so that you could face the potential scolding of your family without him witnessing the embarrassment. Derek was a guy you could count on. The dust had settled from the prior events, and your moms went back to their room, so Derek was just taking it easy until his dad arrived. Mr. Suarez was meant to be there any minute to get Derek. Wow. So, some of the phrasing is very much not how I would say anything. Meant to be there. He was meant to be there. I would say he was meant to be there if someone had intended for them to be there, not if... it's weird. Anyways, Derek preferred not to sit, and instead took long, lazy strides in a circle around the edge of the rug. Hands behind his back and head angled towards the ceiling, Derek looked like he might have been puzzling out a crime. He probably made half a dozen rounds when a solid knock struck your front door. That stopped Derek in his tracks. Dad's here. The both of you stepped towards the door in unison. You arrived first, since you'd had a half-room head start. When you'd pulled it open only a crack, someone zoomed in past you. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Little brother is adorable. I love. The breakneck flash of a human was still entirely recognizable. It was Derek's little brother, Nicholas Suarez. He shouted triumphantly, Derek, we're here! He was only 6, the tiniest kid around. Hot on his heels came the middle Suarez son, Jorge. Nicholas. Nicholas. Okay. Nicholas. We have to stay in the car. We're going home. We're not here to play. He was 10, and his patience was being tested. The youngest one frantically shook his head. It made his hair even messier than it already was. Nicholas is... I'm just gonna say Nicholas. I'm sorry. I'm very white. I know. Nicholas's hair was as wild and free as he was. Hair clips and his parents' minivan couldn't contain the energy, which might have been surprising considering he loved cars enough to wear a shirt covered in them. But you knew Nicholas loved Derek even more. Aw. Staying right where he was, inside your house, at his even older brother's side, Nicholas gave Derek a hug. I came to get you. Derek bent to scoop Nicholas into his arms in a fond squeeze, though he kept his face tilted up to make eye contact with Jorge.
Hey.
Hey, bros. Side by side, Mr. and Mrs. Suarez trailed in. Hello! They are parents. They are parents. They are parents. They're a snack, but they're parents. The resemblance between the parents and their children was clear. Derek and Jorge were the spitting image of their father, Jorge. Jorge was even sometimes called Junior, while Nicholas was a mommy's boy. A good evening, Franklin. Hello. You'll have to forgive the three-ring circus visiting town. The boys had to come. Hi, don't worry about that. You're welcome here. I love seeing the boys. I merely shrugged. I'm gonna say I love seeing the boys because they are adorable, and this is my character's social life. Very few options for socializing. While Nicholas continued to cuddle with his favorite person, what you said got enough of his attention for his sweet smile to be sent your way. You're a sweetheart. But we can't stay. Thank you for letting Derek visit and tell your mothers I said hello. Okay. Come on, boys. All four of you now. Let's give the Deeb family their house back. Coming. Yes, Mom. Half of the group trotted forward with only a word. They went past Mrs. Suarez and out the door. She watched them go before surveying the situation with the most troublesome one. Nicholas was just bouncing around Derek, as if he hadn't even heard his parent. Derek and his mom looked on with identical expressions of exhaustion-tinged affection. When an opportunity opened up between hops, Derek carefully took hold of Nicholas's small hand. Let's go to the car, Nico. You can sit next to me. Thrilled by the promise, Nicholas let out another cheer. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to the car. Mrs. Suarez left it there, trusting her eldest, and went to join Mr. Suarez and Jorge. Nicholas gripped Derek's black wristband with his free hand, stretching it outwards in his eager attempt to lead his big brother along. Derek stumbled forward with a chuckle, mostly to protect his band from being pulled too far, rather than Nicholas actually having the strength to move him. But he made sure not to forget. Derek said his goodbye from over his shoulder. Bye, guy. Alright, bye, good night, goodbye, everybody. You waved the group off, you stood there watching them go. Probably goodbye, everybody. After their prompt entrance and equally quick exit, the whole Suarez family was on their way home. You, however, didn't have anywhere to go. It was late enough that the rest of the day would be spent inside your house. That was a while ago now. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited, your gaze trained on the phone. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin Leandra. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your uncle and aunt and Lee. I don't know who Lee is. I don't remember who Lee is anyway. Used to live many hours away. Your family's... Oh, Leandra. The cousin that was literally just introduced. It's a nickname. Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. A while back, though, they'd moved and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. With school being out, you're positive she's going to want to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Elizabeth, too. But now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family, it tended to be just you and Lee who spent time together. She was your only friend who was a girl. Being family helps make you close, but you had a lot of girlfriends. If this was me, is the second one. Even though you weren't a girl, you befriended them pretty well. Didn't have many non-girlfriends. That is also me. It seemed that was just the type of person you associated with most at school. I was involved in... There was a sound. It's weird. There was... I just had a tendency to gravitate towards activities that were mostly dominated by girls. Theater and stuff like that. So I tended to have more experience talking to girls than I did with guys. And a lot of the guys had interests in things that I had no interest in, like sports and stuff. And yeah. And then on top of that, a lot of them were kind of awful. Guys are awful, is what I'm saying. Anyways, then the shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. You know my parents trained me on answering the phone. I absolutely always would resort to the pre-scripted introduction whenever I answered the phone. You were greeted by a distorted, high-pitched giggle. Why do you sound so weird? Mom answers the phone like that sometimes. It's supposed to be polite. You should go with hi. That was something a robot would say. There was static on the end, as if Lee was shifting wherever she was. So, can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Now we don't have any of that boring stuff, and we get to hang out whenever we want. Speaking of hanging out, Lee, can you wait a second? Let me just head to my room. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Freaking, let's go. You got up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which was why you'd been sat by its cradle waiting for Lee to call. Your mom's could be really unfair. You thought that made sense. You didn't like it, but it had to be that way. I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's got a charge. Cordless phones. Back before everyone just had cell phones and people actually had landlines. When you had a cordless phone, you had to make sure that it was on the thingy. I can't even remember what it was called. They called it the cradle. It has to be there so that it charges. And if you took it off and took it somewhere, it would no longer be charging. If you don't make sure to put it back on the cradle, then it would die, and then no one would be able to call your home. So you just miss calls because... So it's important to put it back where it was. Anyways, you thought that made sense. It was nice to keep everything in its proper place. There's also that. But now that Lee had called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. You made your way up the stairs, smiling. After you had arrived, you shut the bedroom door firmly behind you. You took a seat on your bed. All right, I'm here. Cool. Hey, did you know the girl down the street from me has her own phone now? A cell phone. My God. The amount that this would have blown my mind. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything. Wow, really? The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you. Right? I wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone until I'm more grown up. I wish they'd change their mind. We could call each other every single day and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be? Really great. But wouldn't I still be using a home phone? I'm just gonna agree. Yeah, really great. I like talking to this cousin. We're gonna go with that. It would be really great if we could have our own phones and we could just call each other. We could even stay up late talking about whatever we want. Lee sighed thoughtfully into the receiver. At least they said I could have it someday. I can't wait. She sighed dramatically. Exactly. I bet I'm not going to get one until I'm all the way in college. That was basically what it was like for me. I got my first cell phone when I was 15 years old, and it was a tiny little flip phone. This uber small flip phone that had a pay-as-you-go plan, and it was ooh, I eventually got a smartphone, and that was such an upgrade. Anyways, squeezing the phone between her shoulder and ear, you puffed up your pillows and made yourself more comfy. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over and you'd have to choose whether or not to go to a college. Am I going to be able to choose if I go to a college? That'd be cool. School was such a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easily to you, though you tried hard. You worked about as hard as most people, but got pretty average results as well. You never tried much, but you still didn't do that bad. You didn't bother at all in school, and your grades reflected that. Everything in your classes came easily to you. You worked hard for your excellent grades. So, as frustrating as it definitely was for the people around me, yeah, I got the gifted kid burnout going on. Yep. Coasting by had become routine for you. Teachers had warned you that you wouldn't be able to do that forever, but you figured it was enough for now. You felt a lot of pressure to get higher grades than you did last year. You hoped to do just as well this year, but it wouldn't be a big deal if they dropped some. You were confident your grades would remain great. You had no plans on getting excellent scores this time around. I was... At 13, I didn't care that much. Grades weren't the most important thing, no matter how good or bad they ended up being. Yeah, you tried to sound engaged, but your mind had decided to go back to school despite the season. Lee knew you too well to be fooled. Yeah, the ADHD kicked in, didn't it? You sound so spacey. What's up? Just thinking about school. Lee groaned. Are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to going back. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. It's so awful. I hate going. Come on, it's not too scary to think about. I gotta say, by the end of summer vacation, I always wanted to go back to school because my school was one of the biggest socializing things in my life. So I always looked forward to going back to school, not necessarily for the school part, but to see people. I'm going to say let's make a petition for more vacation time. Yeah, everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers too. Though I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. You can just do more when school's out. Learning new things can be cool. Gym is pretty great though. It's the easiest way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. That's the thing, yeah. The cafeteria lunches at my school could be better than they had any right to be. Could be better than they had any right to be. There's nothing good about my school. I'm gonna say... Okay, I'm between these two. Odd and even. Socializing it is. Because I'm also a big nerd. I do enjoy learning things. I didn't like school necessarily, but I liked learning. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody. Anybody new. No one really comes out here. Oh, wow. Nobody really... I am so sorry. I don't know what it is about this game, but my brain starts shutting down. No one really comes here. Oh, I get to choose multiple things. Learning new things can be cool. I just wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some people. Me too. Cafeteria lunches suck. I also did not like gym. That was all. And that's pretty much everything that's good about school. Okay, point taken. Now I decree the topic of school is officially closed. We have to talk about this summer first, before we start plotting the rest of our lives. I've got some plans already. Like, I'm gonna visit my cousins. You chuckled, of course. What's something you want to do? The first thing that comes to your head. I want to spend time with people. I've got some new art supplies. Reading! What up? I was a nerd. I'm gonna catch up on movies and TV. That was also a thing. Probably I'll spend time at the beach. I don't want to do anything at all. It's a vacation. That's... Yes! Yes! Speak to me. But I think that catching up on movies and TV is doing nothing. So that's how I feel. Also, reading. When you're reading for leisure, it's doing nothing. It's you know, just vibing, you know. Let's see. I'm gonna say I don't want to do anything at all. It's a vacation. Lee giggled. Aiming high, huh? Don't strain yourself. You leaned back in your bed, settling in as you continued chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been long since you saw her, and you'd be seeing her soon, you found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day. You sat up straighter. I was with Cove and Derek today, and we met a new kid. Like at your neighborhood? Mm-hmm. His parents are visiting family, so it sounds like he'll be around for a little while. I don't know how long. What was he like? Mean. He kept zapping when we were all trying to... When all we were trying to do was talk to him. He just kept being rude to everyone. Yeah. But especially Cove. It was awful. I don't think I want to meet him. You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with the boys. With the boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around, until they started to annoy her. Hey, who are you to talk? You give practically all your attention to boys. Or maybe just one boy. I see how much you like Cove. The tiny kid embarrassment and the I feel it even now. It's so cute, but it's Anyways, but that's all the time we got for this episode. We're going to continue our conversation with Lee here and next time. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.